Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 128 for the week of Monday, October 14th, 2013. My name's Ryan Higgins, who is here with me this week.
Brock Sager.
Toby.
And Charlie.
Toby will probably be leaving us somewhat during the podcast at some point.
Not to go vomit his guts out.
No. This is our real reason to go.
Just to storm out of here as Ryan upsets him again.
Yes.
So if he...
Actually, that's how I leave. I'll drop the mic.
If he disappears, it's because he has to go back to work. However, Omar was trying to be here. He was scheduled, and...
maybe we'll do a tag team.
Caltrain hit someone, so he's been stuck on the train for 2 hours. He's pulling
Caltrain does that a lot.
He's pulling a Ryan Scott. So, yeah, there you go. But yeah, there's so much crap to talk about this week with New York Comic Con having been this last weekend. So I think there's only one place we have to start. I mean, this is the biggest news of the con, easily the biggest news of comic books this year.
Snooze?
Probably for... Did I snooze?
No, I think you said snooze.
This is the biggest news of New York Comic Con by far. I mean, it's not even a question. It's the
I
biggest
would love
news.
it even more if he did say snooze and started with the news that was just...
This is very, very boring news.
I know what this news is.
It's the biggest news of the year as far as comic books. And, I mean...
And as far as Ryan is concerned.
Really, it's the biggest news in decades, basically, for
New
comic
Warrior
books.
series.
See, it's not funny when someone else makes the joke, because you're supposed to think I'm talking about Miracleman.
No. All of our listeners know you're talking about New Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a joke. They know you're going, New Warriors, New Warriors.
Well, then fine. Maybe I was talking about Miracleman.
You weren't. You were talking about New Warriors.
Well, now I'm talking about Miracleman.
Oh,
How about
geez.
that?
Oh, yeah. Because really, New Warriors only needs that much news attention.
For those of you aware, many years ago, well, I would say 5-6 years ago, maybe? Seems about right.
Yeah.
Marvel announced that they got the rights to Miracleman at San Diego Comic-Con. And they did nothing with it for many, many years.
Well, no, they released those...
They released some shitty hardcovers of, the classic Miracleman stuff that no one wants.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, Miracleman was originally published as Marvelman. It's a Captain Marvel ripoff in the 40s, like Shazam, Captain Marvel. No one cares about this book. Until Alan Moore in the early mid-'80s relaunched the character in Warrior magazine, kind of made it more modern, and introduced Kid Miracleman or Kid Marvelman, I'm sorry, and all these other characters. Oh, some of them were part of it, but really kind of modernized it, made it dark, a la Watchmen and Dark Knight and all that stuff. And Neil Gaiman took over the series after Alan Moore left, and Eclipse, right? Yes. Which is the U.S. Publisher of it. They were reprinting the UK versions as well as putting them in color. Went out of business and the book stopped. I mean, the Warrior magazine wrapped up and it was canceled, and Miracleman, as it was published here in the US because they had to not go up against Marvel, the book just sort of disappeared.
Stopped,
and Neil Gaiman's issues never got published, or the end of his arc never got published. And Marvel, years and years later, said they got the rights to it and did nothing with it. Well, they finally said we'll be receiving Miracleman #1, reprinted, relettered, cleaned up by the Marvel Masterworks team, which we'll get to that in a minute. And it'll be released monthly, I believe just one issue a month, starting in 2014, starting in January. Digital and print, with the final, I believe, 2.5, so really 3 issues of the book coming out, because I think they did through 22.
Yeah,
so 23, 24, 25 will be the last 3 issues, if I remember correctly. Which are the Neil Gaiman issues, and art by Mark Buckingham, who's the original artist on the series. And those will be out in 2 fucking years, but whatever. Marvel, of course Marvel's going to reprint every single issue.
Yeah.
And then we'll get the two or three trade paperbacks for it, and then me and Charlie and Omar and Brock and Toby and everyone else will wait till the giant oversized slipcase hardcover edition. That's the one we'll buy in 4 years when it's finally out. But so we have a bit of a wait, guys.
It's all right. You can start saving money now because
Yeah.
the 75 hardbound is not going to be cheap.
Yeah, the 75 oversized slipcase hardcover book will be $125 by the time
if you're lucky.
2019 rolls around. So yeah. Here's the problem that I had with this announcement. I am not against. I mean, I can't even tell you how happy I am this book's getting reprinted.
Oh no, I'm glad. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. Here's my one issue, though. For some people aware of Marvel Masterworks, which are Marvel's hardcover reprints of classic Marvel material, I have issues with what they have done on some of the reprints. Some, not all, and in fact, very few. However, in some situations, they have gone through and corrected mistakes in the original print. Like, let's say, like, guy has two left hands, printing it, flipping it, so he has, right hand and left hand. They've changed some of the font, some of the dialogue. Not changed the dialogue, but changed, the lettering. And this is going to be completely relettered as well, which doesn't bother me quite as much. Although I wish it was the original lettering. And they've actually gone through and recolored things. So if a panel had, Galactus in his first appearance is a notorious job where the Marvel Masterwork team went in and completely recolored the way they had him colored. And to me, that's like going back to those early issues of the Hulk where he's gray and being, well, he was supposed to be green, so let's make him green. Or Daredevil, he was supposed to be red, so let's recolor those. No. I don't want to see Miracleman touched up. I want it as is. Now, if there's issues with the print and the art and they can't, and they have to mess around with it to get it to today's standards, I understand that to a degree. But it's like when DC went back in with Killing Joke, and they took out the yellow oval in Batman. No, you do not alter the original art. That is fucked up, and I don't want that. So if they're going in and they're changing stuff and fixing mistakes, I really, really don't want that. I know some people don't care, but to me, I want it in its original form, mistakes and all. So that's my problem.
I guess my curiosity, and this might get me shot by Ryan, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. So do you think they're doing this intelligently? Like, do you think this is going to sell well enough that they're going to be happy with... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure number one will sell through the roof, and they might even go crazy incentives, considering it's Marvel.
Oh, they already showed, 8 covers for it, I think.
Yeah. But I guess my point is a lot of this stuff, while... does really well in terms of trade paperbacks, does really well in terms of hardcovers. A lot of this stuff doesn't tend to do super well in single issues.
I do not... Well, I guess it's really hard to tell. I have absolutely no interest in 25 single issues of Miracleman. I have 22 of them. I have the Warrior magazines. I don't need Marvel's reprint of them. I'm going to assume most people don't want those. Now, some people will grab them, sure, absolutely. Yeah. I think here's what's going to happen. People are going to order the hell out of number one. No one's going to buy it because no one cares about a single issue of Miracleman. Yeah. People want the collections. However, 23, 24, 25, those will sell because it's the first time those have been printed.
Yep.
So to me, I don't want a single issue until it gets to the new material. And I think most people fall under this, and I will order one at a decent level. However, I do not expect it to sell well, and I expect by issue 2 it'll be a very... I mean, let's be honest, it's going to sell well. People will order, people will buy it, but I do not think it's going to sell 100,000 plus copies every issue for 26 issues.
Well, no, issues. But I guess my question is like most of this kind of stuff, because, I mean, obviously various companies have done this kind of thing, going back and reprinting the early issues, and most of the time it works really well for reprinting issue 1 or reprinting a small thing of key issues. But I definitely question whether or not it's going to be worth the... Basically, I wonder if by issue 9 or 10, Marvel's going to be looking at it and going, yeah, the number's fallen low enough on here, this would be within cancellation level.
Yeah, I don't expect... I mean, I'm just spitballing numbers right now to give you some estimate. You know, Batman we sell 100 copies of. Infinity we're selling like 50 or 60 copies of. All New X-Men we're selling like 50 copies of. So that use that as sort of your base. Justice League we sell about 65. Use that as your base. I would probably order 50 copies of number 1 if there's a variant around that, although I assume they're going to have variants at the 100 or 200 and 300 point level, probably a store variant or something like that. I would probably cut number 2 to about 20 copies and expect to FOC that lower, though, adjusting my orders number lower. I do not believe people are interested in single-issue Miracleman.
And that's why I'm questioning whether or not they'll get to single issue prints for 23.
Oh, they'll print it all.
25.
They'll print it all
because it's the only comic that'll actually go number one's really high and then it starts dropping off, but 23, 24 it shoots back up.
Yeah. 23, I will order, 100 copies of or more. Like that is ordering. That is worth ordering.
Plus, you got all the original collectors and have the original collection,
right?
Then
because I have I want those. I don't want
I'm
one through.
But my question is like most of these things, it's committing to printing 22 issues that people don't necessarily want.
I think it's fine because they're putting plenty of garbage ads for that long.
They're going to sell. People will buy them.
Are they coming with a digital code?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, if they come with the digital code, I can see it bumping the numbers up a little bit because, like, for me, I've never read Miracleman. I mean,
I'm sorry. 25. I was saying 22. I don't know why I got that in my head. 24 was the last one to see print.
So it's 2 years worth.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna get the 3 new issues.
So it's just 25?
No, I thought there was 3 issues. This is 24 was the last one to see print. Maybe 23 was the last one. Well, either way, maybe I've had some bad info there. But I have all these. Oh well. But either way, like I said,
25 is going to be an oversized giant.
I thought I said there was a couple issues. Well,
no, it's going to be super thin, so they can put out a 26 and a 27 and a 28.
Like Gen 13 A, B, and C.
Could be.
Like Lost season, whatever.
Season 3 where they had like that split season or something.
No, the later ones where they're like, we're actually done, but we want to.
Oh yeah.
No, I think that like for me personally, I mean, I haven't gotten into Miracleman.
Yeah, no, there's totally 24 issues. What was I thinking? Why was I thinking 22 is the last one? I was up with that. Well, anyway, but it says Neil Gaiman was saying something. There's 3 issues that never been printed, so maybe it's going past 25. Maybe it's going to 27. But either way, anyway.
Well, it might be the 3 that never got printed, and then he might have a couple more to finish up the run.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if they could continue it, they will pass. So
then we're going to be waiting 5 years for the absolute edition.
Yeah.
Or
no, they'll figure out a way to do a volume 1 and then a volume 2 and then a volume 3.
It's an omnibus. Forgot it's Marvel.
No, they have the slipcase Wolverine. It's the coffee table book.
Oh, but don't call it absolute though, right? That's a DC thing, no?
I don't know what they call that Wolverine book.
Wasn't that the Adamantium edition?
Yeah.
A huge paperweight?
Yeah.
Adamantium edition.
No, it's not a paperweight when you're Charlie. It's a book.
But I'm excited for it.
Paperback. It's not a pocketbook for once.
I know.
I'm excited for it in 4 or 5 years when we get the collection. So.
I mean, I'm excited for it just because I haven't read it, and I think.
Same here. I'm interested in reading it all. This is always a slippery slope when you're reprinting comics a lot of people already have.
Well, I think that some people that have been told about it but haven't gotten into it, like myself, because it didn't end, right? They're the market that you're looking for. Those are the people that you're kind of aiming at because you obviously know that your numbers after the cancellation number are going to skyrocket through the roof because there's so many people that want this book. But up until that point, you're kind of trying to aim at those people that want to read them single issue, haven't read them because they haven't been finished, and don't really necessarily care about getting, the older issues or the Warriors versions. So
yeah, well, that finally seeing actual release dates for them and everything is awesome.
It's funny because ever since I worked at a comic book shop, I've been hearing about this Marvelman, Miracleman for years, and I've been talking to Ryan earlier today about it. I was like, the fuck is up with this shit? Because I've been hearing nonstop about this for years. So,
well, there
is. Finally see it coming at the end.
It's sort of, what I understand, it's a little bit like the way Image has their books, where the company doesn't actually own the books. All the rights from the books were divided between the different creators. Alan Moore gave his up. Todd McFarlane bought Eclipse thinking he was buying Miracleman, but he wasn't. And that kind of led to some weird legal battle. Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman kind of fought over the rights to Angela, which is the Spawn character, and there was talk of them wanting to swap Miracleman for Angela, but that never happened. McFarlane ended up with both, and winning the rights to Miracleman back to the creators, and then Marvel got them, right? Marvel basically got the reprint rights for everything. So it's... Todd's kind of out in the dirt right now because he lost everything. It's like whatever. But yeah, happy to see this back in print. And hopefully those new issues come soon. And this, maybe Marvel will do it like twice a month, so it speeds it up a little bit.
Yeah,
because that'd be good.
Isn't that what they do anyways?
Yeah.
And in terms of this, they could do it weekly.
Yeah. Well, everyone loves lists and lists. And New York Comic Con, good lord. New York Comic Con this year has had more announcements than like the last 10 San Diego Comic Cons.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I feel like New York Comic Con is becoming the comic.
Well, there was
con.
talk of the paid attendees is getting very close to the paid attendee number of San Diego.
Even a lot of the regulars I know that only so far been going to Comic Con started going to New York Comic Con. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is and I mean they paid it in full this year because good lord. I mean, all weekend. I was actually gone all weekend. I was in Disneyland. And every time I looked online, it was like, 12 new announcements. I was like, oh, my God, I have so much work to do when I get back on Monday. And I've read a whole bunch of announcements today, and including this very long list of new Marvel titles or kind of readjusted Marvel titles for their all-new Marvel Now, which is sort of their second wave of the Marvel books. They put out all these little one-word teasers over the last couple of weeks, and we finally got the full list. So stop me if any of these sound interesting, and I will go into more detail.
Stop.
Assassin, which was the one of the first teasers. Turns out it's a new Elektra series.
Yay.
By Zeb Wells and Mike Del Mundo. Pretty cool cover for number 1 too, because they had a lot of number 1 covers or early issue covers in here.
Yes.
Atonement, which is a new Black Widow solo series. So Marvel already replacing a few of their female led books that were sold terribly and canceled, and now we have a few more by Nathan Edmondson and Phil Noto, who I really like. Phil
Noto.
Yeah. He's done some previous work with Black Widow. I think he did one of the previous miniseries, so that should be good.
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
Yeah. Corporate, which was turns out to be the all new X Factor by Peter David and Carmine D. Gidomencio?
Is that the one with the cover where X-23 is smooching Cyclops?
No, that's, I think, an all-new X-Men, I want to say.
That's a scary plot.
The team, however, Toby, is Polaris, Quicksilver, and Gambit.
What?
So Gambit is joining X-Factor.
Yeah. Kind of picks up some of the threads that they left over from the previous X-Factor run. So.
Just 3?
Well, so far. Like, that, of course, there will be
more. All right, I'm down with Polaris and Gambit. Not so sure about Quicksilver. Maybe he dies in the first issue.
Defend.
Quick and the Dead again.
Defend is the new Iron Patriot series by Alex Cott and Gary Brown. So James Rhodes' War Machine going to cancel by 12 issues, like the last 4 Iron
War Machine.
The last 4 Iron War Machine series stuff.
This is a War Machine book, basically.
Yeah. It's a solo War Machine book. Yeah. Descent by Dennis Hopeless and Kev Walker is the follow-up to Avengers Arena called Avengers Underground, which is just the next arc.
It goes from what's it called? From
an island to underground?
From Hunger Games to Fight Club?
Yeah. Avengers Underground will take some of the survivors of Murder World and take them to Bagalia, where they try to infiltrate the ranks of Baron Zemo's Master of Evil.
Oh, Prison Break Season 3.
So,
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I think kind of just continuation of that. Extinction, which is by Sam Humphries and Andre Araujo, is actually just the next arc of Avengers AI. Avengers AI 8 Point Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that book's a little new to be getting a new number 1.
Yeah. Frenemies is
that even a word?
Frenemies? Yeah. Friend enemies? Yeah, frenemies. Frenemies is
new Spider-Man and Venom book?
Is a relaunch of, speaking of a brand new series, of Secret Avengers already.
What?
By Alex Cott and Michael Walsh.
But Secret Avengers is such a better title than that.
Well, maybe it's actually a continuation. This doesn't actually say.
Wait. Is it called Secret Avengers or Frenemy?
No, Secret Avengers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Frenemy is
the one word.
Okay, got it. I was like, if the name of the book was that, I was like,
yes,
oh boy, I'm a little
having fun
worried.
being confusing because he's saying like the name of the teaser, then the creative team, and then the title.
Got it.
Okay, I'll say the teaser and then the name of the book and then the creative team. How about that? Global is Avengers World, which is the third Avengers title by Jonathan Hickman, Nick Spencer, and Stefano Caselli.
Okay.
So,
this book will tie in all the Avengers books?
it's going to tie in. It's going to kind of go from...
Actually, that's going to be the book that's the encyclopedia that you have to read to make sense of everything.
It's going to kind of
explain everything.
It's going to sort of be the worldwide Avengers, and if the cover art is indicative of the actual team, it is Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Wolverine, Miss Marvel. I'm sorry, Miss Marvel. I don't know why I said that. Spider-Woman, Hulk, and Captain Universe. Captain Universe, that's her name? Captain, you know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking, for Avengers World, they sure just decided to do a bunch of American heroes.
Yeah.
So
Higher.
that's the World Encyclopedia for Avengers.
Higher is the relaunched Captain Marvel book by the same creative team as Captain Marvel, Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez. So
I thought it was going to be a Cheech and Chong book.
So look for it to be selling 40,000 copies. Look for it to be selling 40,000 copies nationwide and 5 copies here by issue 2. Because that book doesn't sell at all for some reason. Hunted is the new Punisher series by Nathan Edmondson and Mitch Gerardos.
What actually happened to that great Greg Rucka one?
Greg Rucka's gone from Marvel and DC completely.
He got very, very upset over the fact that they put Punisher and Thunderbolt, so he finished up the arc with Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, he was like, I'm out of here.
Is there now Charlie Man? Do you know if there's a nice book for that, nice hardcover, or
No, they never put out any oversized hardcover for those.
is there nice trades at least?
Well, yeah, I believe everything's been put out in trade form.
I need to
of
track
his
those
run.
down because I
They're
love that storyline. Oh my god, that was so good.
Oh, and to me, I don't... See, this is just the cynic in me. I don't really care when somebody leaves a title as long as they do a good finish to their run, and he did, so I'm satisfied.
Oh, good. All right, I'll get my collection.
Judgment is the Guardians of the Galaxy All New X-Men Trial of Jean Grey crossover by Brian Michael Bendis, Sarah
dead,
Pichelli,
everybody.
and Stuart Immonen. No, the
young
kid,
Jean Grey?
the kid Jean Grey.
Or is it the future Jean Grey? Or is it the past Jean Grey?
And I
Or is it
believe, even though the books are not being renumbered like the Avengers books, I'm assuming it's going to be All New X-Men 1 point now, which is actually All New X-Men like 24 or
That's
something
the
like
one
that.
where
But it's going to be all new Marvel now, all new X-Men.
All new X-Men point 1 point now.
No,
That's-
all new Ultimate X-Men .01 now.
Yeah,
But also issue 24 of all
This is like
Right.
Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2
totally
Turbo.
is. It's the worst.
Ultra Street Fighter.
Mind Bubble, which is the stupidest, just the worst. I don't want it.
That's
I don't-
This
Speedball?
is worse than,
Stupid.
Is that
No,
Speedball?
enemies?
Is that Speedball?
Frenemies is weird. Mind Bubble is just some stupid villain. That's just Captain America.
What?
That's just Captain America 16 point now by Rick Remender, Pascal Alexi.
Okay.
So it's just a new arc of it's a guy in a top hat with a candy.
You did call him Captain America right now, right?
Yeah, Captain America. Captain America 16 point now.
I'm guessing it will make more sense when the issue comes out.
It's like a clown looking guy with a top hat, just no clown makeup, with a candy cane. Has
Okay.
Captain America and Falcon trapped in a bubble.
All right.
So
Cool.
fuck off, Marvel. You're the worst. Overdrive. Seriously, it's painful.
Fast and Furious.
Overdrive by
Marvel.
Felipe Smith and Trad Moore is a new Ghost Rider ongoing series. He drives a car. He lives in East
What?
LA. Yeah,
No.
yeah. Let's
Maybe they do by the rights to Cheech and Chong.
canceled by 8. Okay, canceled by 8. Sorry.
How
Sorry,
far did
sorry,
the female
fan.
Ghost Rider get?
5 issues? Did that actually run longer than that? Oh no, was that
didn't go to
the
8.
Jason Aaron stuff?
I think so.
That ran for a while. Yeah, that more. There was one pass that was like 5 issues and canceled.
No, I think that was the one that... Okay.
Rad is the new Silver Surfer series by Dan Slott and Michael Allred.
I'm excited
I am
for that.
tentatively excited about this because I don't kind of want a goofy Silver Surfer, and Dan Slott and Michael Allred is going to be a goofy Silver Surfer. So I'm real curious.
well-
That Mark Waid Daredevil issue was really good.
Yeah, it was a little goofy, but it was serious enough.
Well, I guess my thing is Allred, while can have goofy, he can also sort of draw the fantastic very well.
Right.
So the idea
No, I mean
of
he
him
is
putting
Kirby 2.0. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he does that Kirby crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
As long as it doesn't follow into FF, we're okay.
Yeah.
So I guess my thought process is the idea of him drawing other worlds and all that. I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, mind you, I admit this is sort of outside of what I consider Slott's normal wheelhouse. But again, there's funny stuff in Superior Spider-Man for it to be a serious story. Like, Superior Spider-Man is not a funny character. There's funny
But
stuff
it is funny.
in the book.
Yeah.
But he's not portraying the Doc Ock Spider-Man as funny. And
No.
to me, if he does the same thing with Silver Surfer, where Silver Surfer's not what makes the book funny, I don't care if the book's funny.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Sinners, which is all new Marvel Now Thunderbolts 1, which is Thunderbolts number 20 point now.
When you were saying that number point now, are you serious? You're being
That is
sarcastic.
what they are calling
That's what
the
they're
issues.
That's
So
okay. They probably won't fix the database on their site.
they're labeled as all new Marvel Now Thunderbolts number 1. Or
Now.
the sub numbering is Thunderbolts number 20 point now. It is the worst. I can't. It makes me. I don't care what the book is. I want to burn them all because this numbering is insane. Like, I don't know what they're smoking up there, but this is Ghost
They
Rider.
definitely bought the rights to Gene
Some
Shaw.
good stuff. Obviously, some good stuff.
Ghost Rider apparently is the new hotness, no pun intended, because he's joining Thunderbolts for some reason. So there you go.
Hey, they need a car.
No, and he's got a motorcycle in this, although apparently he's got a car in the other one. I don't know what's up with that.
Awesome.
It's a Transformer.
Maybe. The End.
Did they buy the rights to that?
The End is actually the new Doc Ock Superior Spider-Man arc, which is about Green Goblin. It's like the Goblin arc, or something. I don't know what
Well,
it's
this
called.
is everything they've been sort of building up to in the book recently. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this.
I don't know if it's Superior Spider-Man number 27 point now, all new Superior Spider-Man number 1. I don't know.
I believe it is. I believe that
Is
was covered.
Okay.
And only 24 issues. He's already been renumbered.
And then, hold on. This Trial, which is Brian Michael Bendis and Stuart Immonen, which is, that must be the all-new X-Men half of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So this is just continuation of that crossover. That looks like the all-new X-Men half of it. Trust by Al Ewing and Lee Garbett, which is Loki, Agent of Asgard, a ongoing Loki title. And he looks adult Loki.
Oh.
Well,
I was going to say Tumblr's going to have a field day if that comes out.
Yeah.
There was
now
No one will buy the issue, but Tumblr will.
but
have
now
a
they're
field day.
adults, so now it's legal.
Oh.
Well, I was just going to say, I know somebody was pointing out that Loki, vanished from the cover of one of the issues of, Young Avengers coming up, and
Oh, really?
so
Maybe he's getting.
But that's
aged.
not the real Loki doing Young Avengers. That's like another Loki, no?
No, it's he got reborn after the big Ragnarok stuff when Loki was a woman. Then when he came back, he was a little kid. So
well, he was an adult male again for a little while.
yeah, but not for very long. Let's see this next one. All right, here you go. You guys ready for it? Here we go. This is War, which turns out to be a new Warriors title. All new Warriors number 1.
So this is the snooze. This is the snooze news.
New Warriors.
by Chris Yost and Marcus Toe, and this we had
I actually kind of like the creative team.
Yeah, I'm very happy for Chris
I like Yost a lot.
So, as a personal, hopeful favorite of mine, and I know Toby as well.
Yes.
And Charlie to a degree. This should be really interesting because
Yes.
where they're going with this is let's see. So the team is Speedball and Justice, the two standard versions. New Stupid Kid Nova, but as long as Jeff Loeb's not writing it, he's fine. I'm fine. I mean, it's like Kyle Rayner, right? It's like, okay, there could be other Novas. I don't really care if it's not Rich Rider. I would love for him to come back, but I'm fine with there being other
Do
Novas.
care. We have seen it in
I
the
care.
store.
I care. I just don't like it when it's by Jeff Loeb because it's
okay.
terrible.
Yeah.
Like the last couple issues have actually been okay.
Okay.
Now that he's not writing it anymore.
Okay.
Like
And now that they keep dropping New Warriors build up.
Yeah. And Speedball is more traditional. Speedball Justice seems pretty fine. But there's a whole bunch of... Oh, and Toby's favorite, Scarlet Spider,
Yes.
is going to be on the team.
But it's new Scarlet Spider, yeah?
It's the... Whoever... Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Kane, right? Yeah. So Scarlet Spider is not a kid, so I don't know. But none of these guys are kids, really, except for Nova. He's got to be the
But
youngest one
Ben
on this
Riley
team.
is back too, isn't he?
No.
I don't think so. But the rest of the team is Sun Girl, who is just a human. These are all new characters as far as I can tell. Heichi, who's an inhuman. Araceli, who is a demigod. I don't know from where or why. Water Snake, who's an Atlantean. And Scarlet Spider. So
There's a lot of new people.
it is a lot of new people.
You need Night Thrasher to come and lead them to good stuff.
So I have a question for you, Ryan.
Yeah. I have an answer.
Are you going to try and get the variants if they start pulling the 1 in 100? And will you boost your numbers
I'm gonna
just
fight
to get
Ryan
those
for it.
variants?
No, I'm not.
I mean, like, fuck
totally
you, Ryan. I
insane.
want it.
Here's the thing, because I could buy the 1 in 100 variant for $25 on eBay, which is a lot cheaper than ordering 100 copies of this book. Now,
That's true.
Or you can just wait until...
Depending on who does the art.
You know-
or you can
know-
just wait a year and it's $5.
You know what'd be cool though if they do the new cover as it's with the new characters, and then they do the same cover with the classic characters.
really cool. But I mean, it's I will order it slightly higher than I would order probably any other book by Marvel. Based on this, because this is a personal favorite of mine. However,
Because this is the book that Ryan is going to be pushing, like all the DC books in the store.
The big news out of all of this is that you're actually going to be buying a Marvel book.
Oh, not only buying, he's going to be pushing it.
yeah.
Like,
Well-
you will actually pay money
Well,
for this book.
I pay money for all sorts of Marvel books, but yes, this will be my first since Brubaker left Cap. This will be the first Marvel book I'm taking home with me. So yeah, there you go.
That's the real news.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I mean, Chris Yost is like,
He's
stakes
great.
The stakes are high. The action is huge. This is old school Marvel Universe action. There's drama, romance, and world saving, and it's fun. Like
Awesome.
that's just sort of his pitch and
That's what we
on
need.
this Newsarama article.
I've liked Yost.
You know
He's
what?
done good stuff in the past.
Since we're at this, the guy who played Gunn in Angel, the guy, the black dude in the first Avengers, Shield episode.
Yeah.
He would make a good Night Thrasher, wouldn't he? I think he would make an excellent Night Thrasher.
Okay.
We're talking about the comic right now.
Well, if
Yeah,
you
but in Shield, he could be Night Thrasher.
if you look at the the original team, Night Thrasher and Nurse Rider are dead. He says
But his
Nemorita-
brother is there.
Yeah, he's dumb now. He says
All right, you
Nemorita
can
is
make him cool.
He says Nemorita is trapped in the Cancer verse. I don't even know when that happened. Was that in Annihilation?
Yeah.
Like I barely remember
Well,
that. And Firestar is going to
was?
be in Astonishing
get trapped?
or Amazing X-Men. So she's going to be in the new X-Men team. So that's all of them.
Charlie, did she get trapped in there? I thought it was just Rich Rider and Star-Lord that got trapped in the
Confusing
Cancerverse.
myself at the moment.
You know who needs to come back as Silhouette?
Okay, now I have to go back and reread those. Thanks a lot, Brock.
So we'll be talking more about New Warriors. And that comes out in February. So a couple more. Wrath, Richard Isanove, which is just a new arc in Savage Wolverine. And no one cares because no one cares about anthologies. So yeah, that's it. Those are all the books. A lot of stuff from
And
Marvel.
Miracleman.
There's a lot of DC
See,
news
you
too.
should have just ended it with New Warriors, so you ended excited.
Yeah. Well, there was one left. I just did them in order.
Yeah, you went.
Is it in order?
Savage Dragon was like,
Savage Wolverine.
Savage Dragon Wolverine. Both of them.
But yes, no, not just all
There's
Marvel.
like some Frank Miller news.
There's all sorts
Also,
of news.
Batman's gonna get finished. No, I'm kidding.
There's all sorts of news. Before we jump into DC, let's hit up a few indie things real quick. There's going to be a new Quantum and Woody miniseries named Q2 by Christopher Priest and Mark Bright, the original creators on Quantum and Woody. I will be purchasing the collection of this, and hopefully they reprint the entire Quantum and Woody series. They're available digitally. I'm really hoping for trades. It's one of my favorite series of all time.
I think they are because they've gone back and reprinted like Exo Manowar and Bloodshot and a couple in the hardcover.
Yeah, but
they're actually coming out with the hardcover of the current Exo Manowar stuff.
yeah,
I think they're gonna.
They've been collecting all of their Valiant books, but all the new Valiant books, the old ones, they've done a couple classic Valiant trades, but I don't know. But very, very excited for more Quantum and Woody, and I'm hoping they get around to collecting those that
Series
original
has been
stuff
good.
at
I've
some
enjoyed
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. The new one's okay. I like it. I
like
don't
the fact
love
that it
but
makes me laugh quite a bit every issue.
yeah,
So.
that's so fun. And Buffy Season 10 is coming out by Chris Gage and Rebecca Isaac. New Angel and Faith ongoing, or season 5, 6, so 7. It'll be season 7. Was this Angel and Faith? Wasn't really. They didn't call it season.
No,
but
they just called it a Buffy.
Yeah.
Is that going to have in hardcover like the other Buffys?
I'm sure. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm assuming now that they're starting the next season, the previous season will start getting hardcover just like they did with the previous.
Oh,
so
I want those.
I want those, and I want them to put out a nice library edition for Frey.
Oh,
yeah.
But that's not thick enough, though.
6 issues.
Was it 6 or 8?
They could do Frey and the Frey arc and Buffy and make it a library edition.
Either way, I'd be fine with it. I mean, their library editions are cheap enough. I would buy the Frey library edition just to go with the rest of mine. And I want them to do a Serenity/Firefly library edition of all the stuff they've already put out since they're doing.
So you just want to have all of Joss Whedon stuff in the same size next to each other, nicely on the bookshelf in Charlie size.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Not arguing with you.
And in the future.
And in the future.
And they also announced that Zach Whedon will be writing a new, Joss Whedon's brother, will be writing a new Serenity miniseries.
Yep.
So those last few Serenity miniseries were huge sellers. So.
And this is supposed to be an actual follow-up to where things left off in Serenity rather than prequel.
Right. So this is Serenity season 2.
Movie 2, season something.
Yeah,
Movie 1.5, season
Either way,
3.
it's awesome. I'm excited. And I want a nice library edition of that, too.
And Brock's friend Mitch asked about this new Kirkman, Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead creator, horror book coming out from Image, and we have some info here on that. That is Outcast, which is a new book written by Robert Kirkman with art by Paul Azakata. Sounds right. I'm hoping this is actually Robert Kirkman writing ongoing because, and just Robert Kirkman, Thief of Thieves just didn't hit. I mean, and especially after he left the book, it really didn't hit. I mean, if he is going to, this is going to be a whole secondary series, continuous, then I'm excited. If it's, I'm doing the first 6 issues and handing it off, so hopefully, and I didn't read through this whole article on Comic Resources, but hopefully he's going to be involved in the entire arc, and we'll continue it. He says it's another long-running series, and we'll hopefully continue for years and years.
Do we have any info on it besides, or what it's about?
Let's see. It is a book. The book is a riff on the exorcism, demonic possession genre. Yeah. So, quote, Kyle Barnes has been plagued by demonic possessions his entire life, and he's decided that he's going to dive deeper into what has been occurring to him and try to figure out what it is he has been his whole life experiencing. It's a big, epic story. The threats that threaten him also threaten the entire world. So that should be cool. New Kirkman book. Mm-hmm. Good to see.
It's me just picturing that series ending, finally explaining what happened to make all the zombies in The Walking Dead.
Oh, God. Oh, man. DC had a ton of news as well, including a weird thing like, is Superboy getting killed off? Did you hear about this? And getting replaced with the alternate Superboy from the future that's the son of Lois and Clark from like that one issue of Superboy. Like, did you guys read about this?
No.
But I don't know. I was hoping he gets killed off and get replaced by the original pre-52 Superboy.
Well, I mean, that's possible, but I don't know. I gotta look into this. I don't know if this is a weird joke or because it's what's his face? Scott Lobdell, is that his running Superboy? He's joked about getting fired off Teen Titans and he wasn't. So I don't know if this is serious or not. I don't know. It's strange. I'll have to look more into this.
I just realized you're wearing a Strong Bad shirt. You're staying very much in themes on these Mondays here.
I'm saying I like Strong Bad. She's great.
Well, after was that Burninator?
Yeah.
You wearing a Strong Bad shirt? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's very funny that you're staying in theme every Monday.
I like it. I have a couple Homestar shirts. Homestar Runner. It's good stuff.
You gotta wear that next Monday.
I may not have any. I may not have
Are we
any.
actually talking about his fashion right now?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You like my shoes? You like my Converse?
We're gonna continue this into. We're gonna expand our horizon on this podcast.
I've been saying
Slowly going to
Allons-y.
fashion.
I've been saying Allons-y a whole bunch since I got my Converse. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah. Channel into the 10th.
How about Bazinga?
No, I'll stab you in the face. The first day, I obviously missed something.
Well, we all know the story and we're laughing at you.
The first day at Disneyland, we were returning our rental car because we had another car down there that we were getting. Plane was delayed. We had to get a different plane and fly down someplace, get a rental car and drive around. Anyway, we're going to return the rental car. It's like 7 in the morning. It's way too early. And I'm wearing a Flash t-shirt. And, it's a symbol t-shirt. And lady behind the counter, she goes, "Oh, I like your Big Bang Theory t-shirt." I'm just like, oh my God. It is too early for this. No. I did see one guy at Disneyland that had a Bazinga t-shirt, and I looked at him and was like,
You wanted to punch him in the face.
because it's the same logo, but just it looks like the Flash symbol, but it just says Bazinga on it. It was terrible. But I actually got a few compliments.
Sheldon actually wears that shirt on the show.
A couple people, someone made a joke. They're like, "Oh, you got to run fast to get in the line," pointing at a shirt and stuff. And then someone else said, "Oh, I like the Flash t-shirt." So,
and everyone at Disneyland's like watching you like a hawk, going, "Warner Brothers, fucker."
Good. Yeah, actually, I didn't realize that the second day I wore a Batman t-shirt too. I saw more people at Disneyland. So when we went on
Walking Dead t-shirt.
Friday on Saturday. When we went on Friday, they had they shut down early to do like their haunted Halloween thing, where it's like they open it up to kids and they have trick or treating and everything like that, and adults can dress up too, which is like the only time you can do that. Beforehand, and then after that, once they shut it down, I saw every other person. I probably saw more people dressed as superheroes than I did like Disney characters or Disney princesses and stuff. It was ridiculous. So many people dressed as superheroes. Walking around the park, every other person had a Superman or a superhero T-shirt. Mostly DC.
Let me guess. Every other person was a kid that's a boy, as opposed to girls dressed as a princess.
No, a lot of girls dressed as Batgirl, Supergirl, Batman, Captain. I saw a girl Captain America, like awesome. a little girl Captain America. Yeah, I saw a lot of superheroes.
What I meant to say is every non-superhero a princess.
No, they weren't. No, there was a lot of girls dressed like superheroes too. Yeah, but yes, almost every single person that wasn't a superhero was a princess.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, every other person in the park had a superhero T-shirt.
So no Aladdins and no.
I don't know. Really.
What else is there?
A lot of Captain America, Disney. A lot of like Iron Man,
Buzz Lightyear,
a lot of Hulk. I saw. I'm trying to think of like the kids
Woody.
I saw. No, I don't think I saw any Toy Story stuff, like kids dressed up like that. It's hard. I mean, the princess stuff is easy.
Yeah.
They'll sell you the costume.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, this is why this
They're
is
not
good
costumes.
thing you don't have girls, Charlie.
well, this is why this is why Disney bought Star Wars, and I saw a ton of Star Wars people. This is why they bought Star Wars and Marvel to have
you can buy those costumes there too.
Well, exactly. Now they have boy products, which is Disney is so heavily focused on girls, which is fine, which is great, right? But they've always lacked in sort of that boy merchandising. Probably the biggest, the most single character I saw there because it's Halloween was Jack Skellington now. Lots of Jack. Of one, if it had to be one character, it was Jack Skellington. Myself included. I have a hoodie that I was wearing that I got there. So, yeah, which replaced an old one I had. So, a lot of fun. Anyway, people love superheroes at Disneyland. What a surprise.
And they love Big Bang Theory at Disneyland.
A couple people do. A couple people are idiots. DC had some announcements at Comic-Con.
Could you just see the news? Rabbit fan loses it at Disney World, yelling at people and stop calling me Big Ben. Starts beating people up and stabbing people in the faces.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Book shop owner.
I'm pretty sure you get one punch before Disney security ninjas pull you into a bush.
You wouldn't even have gotten one punch because they're already watching you like a hawk because you had Warner Brothers merchandise.
The second I pull my fist back, someone grabs ninja employees grab me by the hand and drag me off.
Yeah, that Mickey Mouse right there, he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
They have a special Mickey Mouse for that.
DC is actually bringing back the Tiny Titans series by Art Baltazar and Franco.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, which is very great.
Yes,
so
that is
happy.
awesome.
And haven't they been bringing the trades back in stock?
Yep. Every week they're bringing a new Tiny Titans trade back in stock. So all those that have been out of print for a while are coming back, and a new series. and probably, hopefully, that kind of lines up with the Teen Titans Go stuff, which they have a new book coming out as well. So very happy. Teen Titans is a fantastic series, one of the biggest kid hits that DC's had in years. I'm not talking
everything that team has done. I've been happy with.
Superman Adventure didn't sell very well. I mean,
well, I didn't say happy with in sales.
Yeah, no, they're great. I mean, they're great books, but yeah, Tiny Titans.
Did they announce putting Batman Adventures in trade?
That's actually what I was going to say. I've talked with DC numerous times about putting all the Batman animated series stuff in chronological trade paperbacks, collecting the entire series, and nothing still. I don't get it. That and the Superman Adventure stuff. I mean, how even the Superman Adventure stuff. I think Mark Miller worked on it. If nothing else, you have a name to sell it on.
Well, even the Justice League stuff too. I mean, all that cartoon stuff.
Absolutely, all of it should be collected. I don't know why they haven't. So, oh well. But happy to see.
They want to put out an omnibus and get me.
Yeah, happy to see that.
But why they won't put it on an omnibus? Because kids won't be able to lift it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it.
What? Well, help kids be healthier.
I was going to say I would say they would never do an omnibus of that stuff. But Marvel's doing a Muppets omnibus of all the Roger Landry stuff. So that's.
I'm actually very tempted by that.
I'm curious how that's going to sell because that's a reprint of all the Boom stuff plus it's the little new stuff they did.
Huh.
Pretty cool.
But the big DC news was Batman.
Wait for it. No.
There you go.
Yeah,
DC,
you should have done that as the way to go.
Well, DC loves Batman, and you're going to get a whole lot of Batman next year as we are celebrating its 75th anniversary and the launch of Detective Comics number 27, which is going to be a 108-page special by friggin' everyone on Earth, including Frank Miller doing a 2-page Batman spread.
Paul Dini
is going to be working on it. Scott Snyder, Neil Adams, everyone working on all the other Batman titles currently are going to work on it. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a Jim Lee variant thrown in there somewhere. Everyone's going to be working on this book.
That's okay. You can order mine with the digital copy.
It's going to be
and then you get Batman.
It's going to be like a $10.99 digital copy. So it's probably like a $10 book.
And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah. But the biggest news is Batman Eternal, which is going to be a weekly series from DC. Kind of the showrunner, if you will, is going to be Scott Snyder. The regular creative team is going to be James Tynion IV, who's his writing partner. John Layman, current writer on Detective for a little bit longer. Yep. Ray Fox, who's done various stuff for DC, and Tim Seeley of Hackslash fame. And Jason Fabok is going to be the main artist, although others will be involved. This is the first
for a weekly book.
Yeah. Well, this is the first weekly DC series since Trinity? No. Is Trinity the last one?
Well, no, Brightest Day.
Brightest Day was bi-weekly.
Yeah, Brightest Day, and then they had the Generation Lost.
Yeah,
the
counter. Yeah, so I guess, yes, it's Trinity. Because it was 52...
Countdown
to Final Crisis, and then Trinity. Yeah, so it's their first attempt. And what I really like about this, I don't know how much you guys read about this, but it's not really a Batman book. It's a Gotham City book.
Yeah. I read the article that Scott Snyder did for NBC, was it? Or USA Today, I don't remember which one it was.
Well, just tell us what was in the article.
But he talked about that the book is more centered like Gotham Central. So it's more centered around the world of Gotham, not necessarily like the detectives, but you're going to see more of the characters in Gotham, like the detectives, other characters, like Fox. And so it's going to dive into more of the mythos of Gotham.
Well, the way they sort of pitched it is that all the creators get to kind of write whatever they want in any length they want, in any sort of style they want. It doesn't have to be Batman solo adventure superheroics. It's sort of rotating creative teams doing arcs of long or short as they want. They can be superheroic or horror or action or adventure, kind of slice of life, just kind of go a day in the life of a character, and they're all kind of leading towards this sort of bigger overarching story that Scott Snyder set into place that will change Gotham going forward forever until it doesn't.
Well, I liked what before the New 52 Snyder did that Gates of Gotham.
Yeah,
which was really well done, especially going into the past of the history of Gotham and stuff like that. So
yeah, between this and Detective 27, I mean, Miracleman will do good, but Batman's coming for you, man. I mean, Batman's gonna be.
Batman's always coming.
I mean, really, this year, the biggest selling book is Batman. I mean, top 5 every single month, outselling almost every single regular ongoing series. Next year, it's not going to slow down. It's
just that death of the family trade that comes out this week.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
The hardcover with the peel.
Yeah,
the peel cover.
That's going to be
huge.
And for the fanboys out there, they also announced that Stephanie Brown, also known as Spoiler, who has been missing from the New 52, a fan favorite, will be returning to the DC Universe.
She's going to be working in a diner flipping waffles.
That's
Batman
fine.
Eternal. So,
really? You're not joking?
No, I'm not. No. Scott Snyder said she's going to be an integral part of that series. They were just waiting for the correct time to introduce her, and that is this story. So, Wally West fans, Donna Troy fans,
wait a couple years.
Keep waiting. Keep waiting.
Until they do a Flash Eternal and
You know what this means? It means I could stop bitching about that. Now I could start bitching about getting Cassie back into the universe.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure every single panel, the first question, when you bring it back?
When you bring Cassie now?
Yeah, it's every time. They always do.
They have to latch on to something.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy. So that's it. I mean, that is more news from a convention. I mean, in years. I mean, we've bitched about this. That Comic-Con is like, well, there's movie stuff, it's some news, but it's like there's not a lot of comic stuff. Man, did New York Comic-Con deliver this year. And I mean, that's not even everything. I mean, there's even way more than that, but I think these are the bigger things.
This year made me think twice about next year, going, maybe I should go to New York instead of San Diego.
You're right there with me. I mean, I think it's crazy that,
or at least go to both.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of excitement that New York Comic Con has had.
It makes sense. I mean, all the heroes are in New York, and
all the companies are in New York.
Well, so
in LA, and here's the thing: is Marvel and DC's Hollywood departments.
Yes.
The comic guys are all still East Coast.
Yeah, so it makes sense that the comic book stuff is getting big.
Right. So it really works the way.
Well, I mean, there's a hole that needed to be filled since San Diego's kind of been lacking in the announcement department.
I have a feeling that because of New York Comic Con, that the announcement went dwindling down. That they have a con closer to home, cleaner from all the media stuff. It's only natural that started shifting that way. Yeah. It only makes sense.
Now, mind you, I can't say this with 100% certainty, but it seemed the only reason Marvel really came back to San Diego was because Disney bought them, and therefore they could push the movies. Because Marvel was almost completely out of San Diego for a number of years. Like, they weren't really sending creators. They didn't really have...
they
had the Cup of Joe panel, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then the last couple of years, they've started to sort of ramp up their presence there again, but primarily for the movies.
I don't mind this at all, though. I kind of almost like it. Like, if one con is more like comic book featured, and the other one's more media featured, I actually don't mind this at all.
No.
It makes sense based on the location and everything. Being close to New York, or being in New York.
Just means I have to start getting a budget to go out to New York next year. Yeah.
Just do a Kickstarter.
Well, we got a bunch of questions. Who the hell is going to
give me money?
Well, you do a Kickstarter to film
just do it to film the next year's
Toby
experience.
Adventures.
Yeah, Toby Adventures at Comic-Con.
we got a bunch of questions
here. I bet you could get it funded.
No. I need a couple of good companions for that, I think.
We got a bunch of questions here from various people, but a lot of it about stuff we already talked about, like from Mitch and Walzo asking about New Warriors and Rob Kirkman's Outcast
Walzo
book.
Asking if you're happy or if you...
Yeah, I'm very happy for the New Warriors. I was very happy for the last series, which turned out to be not very good, and I was very happy for the previous series.
I liked the last series. It was a bunch of non-X-Men people.
Yeah, it's okay. And the previous series...
It's a bunch of X-Men.
Yeah, the previous series to that, I was like, well, it's okay. And the previous series to that, I was like, well, it's okay. So it's like, they're all been okay. This one I'm really excited for. See if it pans out. A couple of people asked, including Jason and Corey, and I think someone else, Oh yeah, all the TV stuff, Arrow and Walking Dead and all that crap. We're going to talk probably all next week. Will be all TV crap.
Can we at least get the last episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. out of the way so we don't have to talk about two of them?
No, we'll talk about two of them next week. It's fine. Next week will be TV crap. So it'll probably be no comic news this week, this whole upcoming week. So we'll have nothing to talk about next week but TV stuff. So give me time to catch up on my shows because I haven't seen any of them yet. But I will talk about
Spoilers,
this.
they're good.
Earlier today, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Paul Rudd were the major rumors for the casting of Ant-Man.
I'd be down for a Joe Ant-Man.
I'd go with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know Paul Rudd. He was in some movie I saw once, but I don't know him past that. I can't remember what movie I saw him in, but I recognize his face, but I have no idea who he is.
I kind of know him. I had a beer with him last week.
No.
I'd like him to be Ant-Man.
No, I don't know him by name. I looked at his face and went, I recognize him from something I've seen, but I don't know who he is past that. JGL,
I kind of know him. It's like me and Kevin Smith and Batman being Batman. No, I'm kidding.
I don't see Joseph Gordon-Levitt as goofy Ant-Man, but whatever. We'll see. Kind of more lighthearted, but possible. Anyone?
Well, he started doing lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then got into serious.
So. Paul Rudd, anyone? Opinions?
I prefer
I don't
Paul
know who
Rudd.
that is.
Okay.
I have no opinion whatsoever.
That's why I said Joe. I don't know who the other
Yeah.
guy
I like
is.
Paul Rudd. He's good.
I recognize him from a thing I saw once. So. This is from Stefano, but
What's up, Stefano?
he says, with the Vibe, Katana, Movement, and Dream Team likely being canceled, what new books would you like guys at the sea fill in those spots? We should say that earlier today, the DC solicitations came out with Vibe, Katana missing from the solicitations, usually meaning they've been retroactively canceled with the previous issue, and Green Team officially being canceled in the most recent solicitation, and the Movement apparently still going on, but I'll believe it when I see
That
it.
sounds so much like a freaking Captain Planet book. I would totally want that.
Green Team?
Yeah.
A Captain Planet ongoing or something?
Yeah, rings involved.
So, I mean, I don't know what I want to see. I mean, we have a book replacing that. It's called Batman Eternal. It's 4 books, right? So there's your weekly Batman series. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a bunch of new DC books planned. There's rumors of stuff, but we don't know
Do a
yet.
book called Batgirls, which is starring Steph, Cassie, and Barbara. Ooh!
That'd be awesome. Dominic asked, did we get anything interesting out of the David Duchovny, Gillian Anderson panel? I knew of no such panel.
Really?
So,
There was? Charlie, you're the X-Men guy. I mean, X-Files guy.
I didn't know they did a panel at New York. They did the panel at Comic-Con that I went to, and that was cool.
yeah.
But didn't know they did one in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. My friend Seth, who's been on this podcast before, he said there was a Voltron panel, like a 30 years or something of Voltron, as well as like talk about some animation stuff, a new comic, blah blah blah, and like no one reported on it. He's like, I want to know what happened on that panel, but no one mentioned anything about it. So yeah, a lot of panels didn't get any sort of coverage.
The comic books were so big that they didn't bother like reporting on some of the smaller ones.
Like, holy crap, all this comic book news?
They were like,
Fuck Voltron.
you Warriors, fuck Voltron.
Yeah. David asks, Marvel will have even more books with female leads, Elektra, Black Widow, etc. What will it take for them to sell? As I jokingly referred to earlier, that...
Have you be written good?
Are they naked?
No. Shut up, Brock.
Don't be like that.
Well, if they're quote-unquote max, then maybe.
Then maybe. Here's my
They
problem.
could do a good Max Black Widow, I think.
You would love
they
a
could
Max
definitely-
Black Cat.
Yeah, for other reasons. But no, for a good
Realistically,
book.
Elektra or Black Widow could do a good
Yeah.
max.
No,
Yeah,
that's good.
both of them could do a really well Max series.
I think Marvel is just in the position where their female characters tend to work really good in teams and rarely good as a major character. They work well as supporting characters. You know, Red She-Hulk not carrying a book. That was doomed from day one. Sif carrying Journey in the Mystery. No.
I enjoyed Journey and Mystery, though.
But just not going to sell. These
Yeah.
books are not going to sell.
But I'm still going to say it was like I couldn't read the Captain Marvel, but I could read the Journey into Mystery.
Captain Marvel, I think, had a good pitch. It was just a terrible, terrible book. So I'm fine with Captain Marvel having her own series. She should have her own series, right? There's a new She-Hulk book coming up. I'm okay with She-Hulk having her own book, but these are... the Dan Slott She-Hulk stuff sold okay, and it ran around for a while, and I liked it a lot. It was a
great
fun
series.
title. but it's a tough
They need
sell.
an omnibus.
Elektra, she
can and she can't.
They had those Greg Horn covers that sold that book probably a lot, and Greg Rucka I think did the early issues. That sold, but Elektra's a tough sell as a solo character.
Well, I
Black
think
Widow, her miniseries have never sold well. They've tried a few ongoings, but
See, Black Widow, I kind of feel like is a harder sell. I kind of picture a Elektra book like the Punisher book, where as long as you don't try to turn the character into some kind of hero, the book works better.
but she is a hero. So
Elektra?
yes, she is at this point, and so is Black Widow.
I think a really
Elektra?
cool.
Yeah, I mean, in her own book, she was kind of a hero. They've made her
And
fairly
that's
good.
kind of where I don't mind her not being completely bad, but I think characters like that work better staying as assassins and staying as...
Yeah, but a villain book's a tough sell, too.
You know how they need to bring Wasp back.
I like Wasp, but she's not going to carry her own title.
No,
and this is not about women. This is about most characters cannot carry their own title. Take a look at any X-Men. It is very tough for them to carry their own book.
Gambit. Don't fucking go there.
But look, it got like 18 issues. It canceled, right?
What?
I mean, obviously,
When?
They canceled Gambit. It's over,
fuck.
or it's almost over.
Yeah, he's going into X Factor.
Fuck everything.
Cable.
That's it.
Is a
Giving up comic
character
books.
that was pretty much launched into his own ongoing book very quickly. Deadpool a little less so, but that caught a weird fever that was.
My Gambit is seriously done.
Yeah, well, it's almost done.
Fuck shit.
But like, I don't see Cyclops or Beast or Angel or Iceman or Rogue or Rogue had her own ongoing. Nightcrawler had his own ongoing. Emma Frost had her own ongoing. None of them last, right?
And Frost lasted quite a while though. No?
That's like 2 years, maybe, which is respectable.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, it's
but
not horrible.
Like, no, but it's like most of these characters aren't going to last.
Like
for
Mystique
long.
had a good 2 years. I think.
Yeah.
Those came out at the same time. I think they could do a really good Black Widow, Black Ops, like spy missions if they just get a good writer on it. I think it could be like Alias-ish.
But her as a character in Secret Avengers doesn't sell. Her by her solo, and I think Secret Avengers is a really good book.
Yeah.
But
as you said, it all depends on who gets put on the book. And this is a sad thing about it, is if you put Rucka on the book or you put somebody like that on the book, people will talk about how great the book is and whatnot, but as you said, its numbers aren't going to hit compared to if Rucka's doing a different book.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. We all talk about how great it would be if they put the right creative team on it, but it's still not going to sell as equivalent to that.
Yeah.
creative
I know
team
what
being
we
on a
need.
different book.
We need a Mary Jane book where she just like laundry in the morning. She goes and takes the dog out for a walk, and she just come back and she goes to have coffee.
So what you're saying is this book's job is to just sell statues?
No, I'm saying it sells normal life without superheroes, and it's a girly book and have girly stuff in it.
yeah, that's
Okay, never mind. I'm going a bunch of girl hate at this point.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm just
Don't attack me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
All the Mary Jane statues I've seen pretty much have her doing most of the stuff, except the coffee. I
So
don't
it's
think I've
like
seen a statue
comic
of her
books
having
imitating real life. I mean, real statues.
Tyler says he finally finished all the podcast episodes.
All of them?
He started listening in April.
Good Lord.
Jesus, good job.
And what is our thought?
You're still listening?
Yeah.
That's a miracle on its own.
But what is our thought on Atomic Robo? Great podcast, by
Marshall,
the way.
the mysterious guy at the shop that hates the podcast and hates people that ask about the podcast.
So we've mentioned
Guess
him.
what?
We've mentioned him before. Marshall, our one employee that doesn't like to be on podcasts because Marshall's a very antisocial guy, I guess. Loves.
No. He's not antisocial. He's a hermit.
Well, he just hates podcast people.
Yeah.
He loves Atomic Robo. It's his favorite comic.
Hey, you love Atomic Robo. That first run got you a little bit of money.
I like selling Atomic Robo. But Atomic Robo is his favorite comic, and so none of us here read it, I don't think.
I haven't read
In fact, the first time I heard of Marshall, the first thing I knew about him was like, I'm going to push this book.
Yeah, he loves Atomic Robo, so that's his favorite.
I just want some nice collections, and then I'll start buying them and reading Atomic Robo. But I need the hardcovers, man. I need them.
Okay, we can talk a little bit about TV here for a second because we have a scale here. Joshua asks, did we watch the premiere of Arrow yet? I have not, but I think everyone else here has.
Yes.
No spoilers. Don't talk about it. However,
More Ollie porn.
on a scale from
Shirtless on a woman's face.
on a scale from
Spoiler.
on a scale from 1 to Ollie's abs, how great was the premiere of Arrow?
Like how many abs he has?
Like 1 through 9 and 10 being
No,
Ollie's
but-
abs. Maybe do you have 10 abs?
I have one giant ab.
Guys, they come in packs.
I have a 1-pack, a big one.
That's a keg.
Yeah.
Fine, I have a kegger.
You normally want to get a 6.
So how many Ollie's abs would you rate the premiere of Arrow? And we'll talk about it next week.
No, wait, are we
right
supposed to
now?
rate it by number or rate the
By
top Ollie's abs?
So there's 6 abs, right? So, but out of 6,
Yeah, I guess out of 6.
However you want to do it.
or Ollie porn style, I say 4. It's weird. It's out of 6. 4 out of 6.
No. The keg is 1.
No. Just do it by 6. 1, 2, 3 by 6. So it's 6.
Yeah, 6 is such an odd number.
Yeah, it is. So 4 out of 6.
I'd give it a 5.
Oh, fine. Okay.
I'd give it a 5 and working towards a 6.
Okay. All right. There you go. So there's some Ollie abs.
Can we just do Ollie number, like Ollie porn out of Ollie porn? Never mind. Move on. Carry on.
all
Carry
right.
on.
There is Ollie porn in it.
There is.
Joshua also wants to know if any of us keep, not comic related, but a quote-unquote a bug-out bag, emergency contingency plan in case of earthquakes, apocalypses, or California sinking.
It's not a bag.
I don't
Should I reveal this on air?
Uh-oh.
I don't have a plan per se, but
It's
I know
all
it,
part of the plan.
part of the plan. I know it's definitely to get out of this area as fast as possible.
That's not what he's asking.
yeah,
you
well,
California hater.
I actually don't
Not
have
a
a...
zombie apocalypse bag.
Yeah.
Do I?
They have a
No, I
zombie
don't.
bag.
I actually need to open my How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse and.
I don't quite have a zombie bag, but since I'm an action movie junkie, I keep feeling that we might get attacked. So naturally, I carry a nunchuck in my trunk, and I have a gun underneath my car seat. It's actually not a real gun. It's a movie prop gun from one of my movies that I did. It fell under my car seat, and ever since I'm like, you know what? That could be really handy there for some reason. Or not. Or I might get thrown in
you get
jail one
pulled
day.
over and the cop's like, "What's that?" It's
Either
a movie
or.
prop.
Either or. It might save my life, or I'm in jail for the rest of my life. One or the other. So I figured I'd leave it there.
Hey, just so everyone knows on this podcast and who's listening, Charlie, you're going to get that call.
Or not. It might be somewhere in a weird place.
You know, you're going to get told, I can't survive in here, Charlie. You need to get me out. I'm not made for this.
But I got this really cool nunchuck. It actually looks like a stick, and you could undo it, and boom, it transforms into a nunchuck. It's really fucking cool.
Nice.
It's out of metal. It makes a lot of damage. I could smash head. No, okay, I'm stopping.
I'm lucky enough that my house is a bit out in the boonies, and so
I have said many times, though, if zombies really do come attack, I'm moving to Ryan's like right away. They have a fucking lake
go
up there.
up a hill.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because then you could fight down the zombies. And they have a lake over there.
The higher ground.
No, and also they have to go through all the rich people before they make it up over the hill. Very good place, Ryan's got.
And you can pillage the rich people.
He's very
Places.
thoughtful about where he's living in case of zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
He's got a lake up there with clean water for a while, at least.
It's good times. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything?
Are we doing a contest for
any New
Ninja
York-
Bot?
Yeah, I don't have the stuff planned for that, so
Okay.
I'll just gone. So we'll deal with that next week. Anyone, any post Comic Con talk? Anything anyone wants to real quick? Just anything you really liked? Anything you're really excited for?
Little Red Sonja.
Oh God! that when I saw that. Okay, so Dynamite is putting out their own
Well, they're only doing a
Frank-
month.
Franco Baltazar little thing. The joke's over, guys. It's
Is she
done.
going to have a chainmail bikini?
The joke's done.
Now,
Probably. But it's written by Jim Zub, so there you go.
it's a chainmail
Onesie?
onesie.
Onesie?
Onesie.
One
I
piece?
just, it's funny, but it's like, oh, come on. DC's doing the Scribblenauts variants.
And the
for the
Scribblenauts
month-
comic.
And the Scribblenauts comic. And at least I'm like, okay, if this is an actual product, okay, I'll give this to you. But if it was like
I don't understand why they're not already doing that, honestly.
the Scribblenauts comic,
The variants and all that, as soon as the game came out to try and push more sales of the game.
yeah.
I don't understand why they aren't.
DC
already
They
putting
don't
those
Marvel
out.
things.
Well, DC has not done this 1 month themed variant. They have a little bit, like once they did like that Aquaman like Robot Chicken variant,
but that was only for
just the one book.
Yeah.
And for Aquaman, and now they're doing the obviously the Scribblenauts one. But yeah, I mean, if they were to do like, and here comes the Man of Steel movie, we're gonna have a Man of Steel variant for every book, and here comes Arkham City Origins, we're gonna have an Arkham City Origins variant for every book. I'm surprised they haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet.
I sent you that link to the new Joker voice actor, right?
Yeah, well, not new. Didn't he do something before? I thought he worked on one of the other animated movies, maybe. Am I wrong? I don't know.
I guess he could possibly. I don't know who did the voice in Injustice.
Well, we're nearing the end anyway, so I'm gonna take off, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I was
next week. Ladies.
Well, and with Toby going, it's probably a good time to wrap up. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's throw in some video game stuff when we talk next week, because obviously some of us have played Scribblenauts.
I think there was a guy. He was on Injustice.
Arkham City Origins.
Well, his Joker's gotten better
Oh, that's good.
because he did his Joker in the panel, and I swear if I closed my eyes, I thought it was Mark Hamill. So
All right.
Now, see, this is the hard thing. We're gonna watch Star Wars and think it's Joker.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to a book that probably passed by a lot of people. I did not order a lot of copies. I really should have. This book came out this last week. Not a random pick. I just want to give this book a bit of a shout out while it's on top of my head. Archie Comics.
yeah, you didn't order enough of those,
Now,
you bastard.
If you are aware of Archie Comics, Archie and Jughead, Betty, Veronica, Sabrina, all those characters,
Kev.
they came out with a book called Afterlife with Archie, which looks like the stupidest thing. It's kind of like a PG plus, almost PG-13 Archie book, not for kids, about, it's an ongoing title, apparently, about Archie in Riverdale being attacked by zombies. And when I saw this in the previews, in the order book, I was like, oh, for the love of
All you kept
God.
thinking was Archie versus Punisher.
This is the stupidest. We're done. F this book. Why? Whatever. I'm not ordering any of these. And then I read an article, or I saw some art from it or something, and I was like, that actually looks like it could be okay. And the book hadn't shipped yet. It just shipped this last week. So I ordered like 2 copies or something just to have a couple shelf copies. And like no one really was asking. No one asked for it and all this stuff. So it came in this week. I still had no one asked for it. But I picked up the first copy and read it. Or the first issue and read it. That is a fantastic book.
That's what I've heard, so I'm looking for it on the shelf.
They have more copies coming in. I've ordered a handful of more copies of number 1, and I've reordered more copies of 2 and 3. Not getting a ton, but I got a little stack coming in. I highly recommend tracking this book down, and I mean it's not going to blow you away. It's not the best book ever, but I was
According to Jess from the Infinite Long Box, it is the best book ever.
It's pretty incredible, especially if you're aware of these characters. Lots and lots of horror movie references. Great, good, well done references too. It's not like super forced. Like they're actually pretty. They're done very well. They're not too cheesy. Weird, dark, really uncomfortable feeling too. Like because you're so used to Archie being so kind of nice, and there are these characters that are all very G-rated, and they're suddenly thrown into this very R-rated situation.
They're thrown. They're taken from their world and thrown into the AMC Walking Dead world.
Yeah, and it's not graphic. It's not like gore everywhere and just it's not crossed, right? It's nothing like that. It's
I don't think there's anything like crossed.
I mean, in theory, this really is kind of just a PG book. There's no real on-screen, if you will, violence. The gore is very minimal. It's all kind of black blood and off-panel, and you don't really see a lot. But like a good horror movie, there's a lot of inferred and just it's more scary what you think in your mind than what you actually see on the page. Very, very good first issue. If you find one at your shop, pick it up. If not, I know you can get it on our digital store. Pretty sure you can. I saw them on there. So worth it for the first issue alone.
We'll get a couple copies.
We're getting a couple copies more whenever it comes back. It's not a second print. It's just more copies. Very interesting title.
Check it out.
Yes, I know.
I want more people to read this book. So
you already got 2 right here.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And a couple people on digital as soon as they listen to this.
Hopefully. All right. That's it. That's our episode. That was episode 128. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully you found some books coming from New York Comic Con that you are now interested in.
Like New Warriors, right?
Yes.
And Batman Eternal, which is going to outsell that.
One issue of Batman outsells like the lowest 10 selling DC titles. It's like, of course it's going to outsell. Batman Eternal is going to be huge. It'll be interesting to see just how well it sells, though, because a lot of DC weekly series, they really start. Those numbers are poor by the end. It's tough. It's tough to stick for that long, but I think it'll do well. Anyway, thank you for listening. You can go to www.geekbox.net and find this episode or all our other episodes, or also go to comicsconspiracy.biz, where you can find stuff about the store, including, and I forgot to mention in last week's episode, our upcoming sale this weekend.
Oh, yes.
The second part of our 20th anniversary sale. In fact, we may have one before the end of the year or right into the next year. We've been in the process of processing a huge collection of... It is a process. A huge collection of comics that where we have a lot of stuff to still go through, so we'll probably end up doing at least one more, if not maybe two more, in the coming months to get through these books. So it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. I will be here Friday.
I will be here Saturday.
All day Friday and Saturday.
Be here Sunday.
Brock, our good friend Marshall, who hates the podcast, will be here Friday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. Brock will be here Saturday. Charlie will be here Sunday. We'll be here briefly on Sunday. Not for very long, but if you're around, come down. Come say hi. Come get the sale. We're going to have 25% off comic books, 25% off graphic novels, $1 back issues, tons of books outside for 50 cents. It's going to be a big sale. So
I have to ask this since it's not printed on your thing, so we can cover it in the podcast. What's going to be your discount on wall books? Because I've had people ask me.
I mean, they're 50% off. It's
okay.
Basically, if it's under $10 for a back issue, it's $1. If it's $10 or over, it's 50% off.
If it's $10 and over, it's 50% off. If it's $9.99
or under, it's $1. Okay. So, and that includes wall books. So I'm gonna try to move some of those.
Just making sure.
Well, we have very few wall books now. We moved a lot of our collection around and got some new stuff in. So yeah, I wanted to make sure those are kind of change it up a little bit. So since we redid the store. Forums at geekbox.net. You can go and talk to us there. We're all on Twitter. Ryan Higgins, Brock Sager.
Comics and
Dakine is Omar. Larson Bryce is Bryce Larson. Hopefully he should be back in a week or two. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. We all have for random other crap we do. Brock's got conspiratobrock.com. comicsandtakine.com. That's Omar's blog. And the Infinite Long Box,
which will be recording its 100th episode this week.
Nice.
The Infinite Long Box.
There you go. Did
I do it?
Do you have any? Do you have anything you'd like to talk about there?
Well, we will have a surprise in it, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
Ooh, we're teasing him even more.
Yeah.
We teased him last episode, now we're teasing him again.
Excellent. The great thing about recording over Skype and not live is you can have guests on your podcast. Maybe we'll try that one of these days.
Throwing a spoiler.
No spoilers. Well, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, we're announcing we're being bought by Marvel. That'd be cool, though. I went in on that action, if so. So listen to the Infinite Long Box at theinfinitelongbox.com.
Disney's Infinite Long Box.
Is it the InfiniteLongBox.com?
No, it's just
InfiniteLongBox.com. Okay.
You need to buy the rights to theinfinitelongbox.com.
Evidently.
Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our digital storefront, which for another day or two, you can get 114 issues of The Walking Dead.
That's still going on?
I think so. I think till Wednesday. For $99.99.
I have to say, this has been like my dream for how they do sales, because I've been bitching forever that the 99 cents per issue is great, but give me a bundle if I'm going to just buy them all.
Buy a chunk. Did you buy it?
Yep.
No, I didn't. Because I have pretty much all of that.
He has them all.
In the slip.
Yeah.
But
we have sold.
if they had done that for like the Secret Six, if they had done that, like,
They have those buy them all bundles now. On a new storefront, you can use on your iPad, and you can use on Apple products.
But
and
this is the first time I've
phones.
seen them bundle a sale
And
like
cheaper,
that.
too.
Yeah.
Like, there's a buy all button on all the sale breakdowns. There is a buy all button. However, they've actually bundled the sale even cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's like 88 cents an issue, I think, if you buy them all that way. So, very good price.
I'm just saying, they need to do more of that, damn it.
Yeah.
And you were about to say how much Walking Dead we've sold?
We sold a couple bundles already,
Nice.
so which is nice, and we get a nice cut every time you buy from there. So I recommend people do that. It's a good deal, good times. I think that's it. The Comic Conspiracy Geekbox.net. You can send us an email over there if you want. I didn't read any emails this week. We have a few though. We'll
When
try to
was
read some
the
of those next
last
week.
episode we actually read an email?
I read at least one every week, maybe
email?
every other week. Yeah, we don't get a ton. I mean, mostly on
Okay.
Twitter. We get a few emails, some longer questions. And that's it. We'll be back next week, and make sure to watch out. When does your 100th episode go up?
Chances are it will be Monday of next week, is my guess.
It'll go up on Monday of next week?
Yeah.
Okay, same time as ours. So perfect. So go look for that 100th episode
Probably Monday morning.
of Infinite Long Box at infinitelongbox.com. And we'll be back next week.